That's one way to look at it. You could also say, well, I've already lost the money. This is a sunk cost. Sunk cost is something I talked about earlier. It is the misconception that you make rational decisions based on future value of an object or investment or experience or whatever. The truth is your decision is tainted by your emotions and how much time you put into it. The more time you put into something, the harder it is to back out. It's a sunk cost. I put 2 years in this relationship. I'm not going to give up that relationship. I'm not going to give up that 2 years. I put 3, 4, 5, 6 years in this job. I'm not going to give that up. Even though that is not a zero-sum game. It's not, you lose all that. But that is another kind of advice. So this is a sunk cost. So going into this third game, this third round, you already have a sunk cost going on. It's another thing I play. It could also be a sense of pride. You know, I've already went into it. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going with it. Is another style list. And you can see this in the real world as well. This does have a name. It's called the War of Attrition. So one of the ways you can see this was with the satellite broadcasting system in Europe. There's a big fight between Sky Television and the British satellite broadcasting company. And they started doing this and they kept going. They were trying to win people's affection and get a hold of the market. There wasn't enough resources for everyone else. You had to get a hold of the market. So what they did is they dropped their prices. They're giving away, free installation, satellites for free. They're giving away TVs and all this stuff, and they kept going and going and going. But when they started looking at the numbers, they realized even if they do win and they get the market, with how much money they lost, they would barely break even. And they just kept going on this. Another one is, World War I with the trenches. That was a huge war of attrition. It just kept going and going, 1914 to 1918. So that is another definition of war of attrition. Let's see. You can also look at this. Let's say, let's make up, let's just say there is a mob city or something like that, or there's a dictator and you're trying to, build a building there or something, and you pay him $1,000. Like, hey, here's $1,000. Can I build this building or can I build this bridge? But then somebody else pays him $1,000 to do this, and he comes and he's like, well, you paid $1,000, but that other one paid $1,000. So who really wants to build it? You can pay me, and you just keep paying him and paying him and paying him, and it's going to go into a sunk cost. Like, oh, I've already dipped $4,000 or $5,000 into this. This also can go into like mobs as well. Let's say that there's 2 restaurants or businesses, and the mob only wants to, one to be in town or something like that, and each business like, hey, you can have our protection, and the one who doesn't have our protection, the one who gets our protection, will take care of that other opponent for you. And they keep paying the mob. Both companies are paying the mob, like, hey, protect me, but don't protect them. So you can see where this logic kind of goes. But yeah, that is